So with only one episode left of American Horror Story Delicate until the mid-season finale airs, yep, I can't believe it's either. I wish it was carrying on too. In between now and that final episode though, a preview for the mid-season finale has been released, and it looks as though the show is going to be taking its darkest route in this season, as we're going to be in for an eventful final episode. So with that, I thought I'd break down and explain the trailer whilst giving my theories and predictions on what I think will happen next. So let's get into it. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. So the trailer opened up with something similar to what we saw at the start of the previous episode, a deal being done. The first line was spoken by Siobhan to Anna, and she said, "Do you want an Oscar?" To which Anna responded with yes, and then another question was then put to Anna, which was, "Do you want it as much as a baby?" To which Anna also said yes. Something that is quite confusing considering that Anna is so desperate to have a child and has gone through a tremendous amount of hospital visits to make it even possible to carry one. So the fact that she is, it's a miracle. This is something which is similar to what we saw with Queen Mary I and the deal that she made in order to have the most fruitful reign as an English monarch at the start of episode 4, giving up her baby in order for personal gain. And it very much seems like Anna could be doing the same thing. Anna could have just indirectly sealed a deal, which could mean that when her baby is born, she could end up having to have it taken away due to the words that she just said. We know that Siobhan is working with the Ashleys, who were present back in the 1500s and were the two individuals that took the monster baby off of Queen Mary. So I think Siobhan could be exactly what they are, and also be the leader of them. The fact that whenever they're in frame as a 3, it seems as though Siobhan is placed in the middle, it makes it seem as though she's the one that's in charge. So I think we'll most likely see her true colours in the mid-season finale, and what her true intentions are. We know that Siobhan met Anna at an IVF support group, and Siobhan could have quite literally been there, pretending to be going through the same journey in order to essentially find the perfect host in order for the monster baby to be born. The next part of the trailer that we saw was a scene that had the doctor from the clinic saying to Anna, "It's growing pretty fast." Considering it seems like Anna has most likely made a deal with Siobhan in order to secure herself an Oscar, I don't think the pregnancy is going to be 9 months. Anna's pregnancy has already been a strange one, with the fact that she thought that there was no longer a baby there, but then they found a heartbeat. So I think that this pregnancy will be much shorter than 9 months. Anna's bump was also looking bigger, and I don't feel like there's going to be a time jump, so that could be the case. The next line that we had was spoken by Anna, and she said, "I can't live in this much pain." So it shows us that she's definitely having some struggles with the pregnancy. I'm going to imagine that it's most probably more painful because she's got one of those demonic monsters inside of her, which is something which will most probably cause her more pain than a usual pregnancy. I mean, look at those dagger nails. The shot that we saw after this was of Anna in the shower, and it looked as though her hair had been continuing to fall out. And then when she walked into a different room, there was a doll there which looked as though it had some of its hair ripped out too. There's been a lot of mystery around the dolls in this season, and I feel like there were a couple of different things that they could stand for. Every time that we've seen a doll, Siobhan has been around, whether it be the one that Anna originally signed, the one that had nails in its stomach, or the one that was seen in the green room before Anna went onto the talk show in episode 1. This doll could essentially be like some kind of voodoo doll, where when something gets done to it, it's reflected in real life. For example, the signing of the stomach could have signified the making of a deal. And then, when we then went on to see the doll with nails in its stomach, we saw that Anna had lost a lot of blood, and it seemed as though she lost the baby. And now, this time in the trailer, with it having hair ripped out, Anna also lost hair in reality too. So whatever happens to the doll, it could be getting mirrored in real life. Hence why it keeps showing up everywhere, and Siobhan could be the individual that's making it all happen, which is why it's always there when she is. After this, we then saw Anna confronting Dex, and it looks as though there's going to be a bit of tension that's present between the both of them. As Anna said to him, "Admit that you think that I've made everything up." We still don't know whether Dex is on the side of Anna, or if he's part of the darkness that seems to be present. So I think that's something that I hope we'll find out more of in the next episode of the show before we go into the mid-season finale. Then we saw Siobhan sitting in her office looking up and saying, "Paranoid much?" I think she could be saying this to Anna due to the way that she's been acting, but judging by how Siobhan usually interacts with Anna, I don't think that she'd necessarily take that type of tone with her. So I feel it could be Hamish. As in the previous episode, we saw that he was a bit suspicious of Siobhan as she left the apartment after they'd been together. Then we had a shot of what looked like 4 of the Ravenheads all together. This is the first time that we would have seen 4 of them at once, and I think the identity of the 4 of them are most probably going to be Ashley, the other Ashley, Siobhan, and also Sonia, the artist that Dex has been working with. There's definitely something suspicious about her, and considering that she's usually in the black attire like the rest of them, and there's also this darkness that seems to be around her, I think she could be working alongside them. The next thing that we saw was the doctor in the clinic saying, "You're going to have to push a lot harder than that," with it looking as though Anna was going into labor. During this scene, it appeared as though there was a lot of blood, and it also looks as though 2 of the Ravenheads were approaching Anna with their arms out, looking as though they were ready to take the monster that would most likely be born. Although I say it's Anna, it was actually quite hard to tell if it was her that was the person that was there. But if not, this could be some kind of flashback to a different person doing what we saw Mary do in the 1500s, and it could be being shown to us to highlight the doctor's involvement in the arrangement. There was also a shot of Anna looking like she had a cloth put over her face which would have caused her to pass out. Judging by the gloves that we saw on the individual's hands, I think this is most likely Cara Delevingne's character, Ivy, as every time that we've seen her she's been wearing red gloves. Or it could be one of the nurses from the clinic, as in episode 1 of the show they were also seen to be wearing red gloves too. And this could be moments before the scene that we saw before where she was giving birth, so all of this could be against her will. We then had a quick succession of shots in the build up to the climax of the trailer, which look as though it's going to dictate the tone of the episode. We had the doctor with blood all over him, and him looking shocked and surprised at what he was looking at. Plus, we also had 2 of the Ravenheads behind him, ready to take the monster. And we also had a shot of Anna looking like she was in pain in the shower. I think this could be before when we heard her mention that she can't continue on in pain. The final thing that we saw in the trailer was Hamish and Siobhan together, and he said to her, "Tell me the truth, what the hell are you?" So he's definitely grown suspicious of what she is, and he's come to the conclusion that she's not human. So could this mean the end for Hamish, seeing as though he may know too much? Maybe. We saw in episode 2 of the show when Anna was looking through her phone that she saw a post by Preecher Speaks, where it mentioned about a cable of witches that essentially run Hollywood, with Siobhan being a big player in the game and it seeming as though she's well connected and has influence. She could be one of those so-called witches that runs the industry, but I guess time will tell with that. I'm hoping that the mid-season finale is going to be an eventful one that sets up a good cliffhanger before making us wait until part 2 gets released. Bring it on. So, there you have it. American Horror Story Delicate Season 12 Episode 5 Trailer Explained. If you want to see more videos such as endings explained, theories and predictions and character breakdowns, then click on the I button. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think will happen next? Leave a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.